Eugene. Eugene.
So legend, master, controversy. I remember the first time they called you legend, if I remember correctly. If I'm wrong, tell me. 04 POCC.
Yes.
You really wasn't too fond of them calling you legend now.
No.
Why wasn't you happy then?
Because I like to stick to the rules. Mm-hmm. Even though they have done.
Do you feel you was legendary when you look at it for like? Were you legendary at the time for the category? Because to me, there's a difference between being legend and being legendary.
I think for the category, based on now that what I contributed then, and for my consistency, it had reason to be legend. I understand why. Right. You know, but trophies, winning, changing it. I was one of the first people. And Arbit said this about me. Bush Queen vogue femme like dramatics, right? Like a femme queen in dramatics. That's what it was back then. When you vogue like a femme queen, voguing dramatics, I vogue like a butch queen, voguing dramatics. That's what made me different. So it shifted the idea of what performance was. And then shortly, Deshawn came after. So there was a twist in performance. You started seeing people voguing different. You started seeing boys voguing like boys more so now.
Twist.
And no, those were like, bro, that's something else, honey. I'm not a big fan of twist, but I don't understand it. But
because not what you knew. Remember twist?
I just don't know if it makes sense. I just don't understand if twist makes sense. Doesn't mean you can't vogue. Doesn't mean you're not talented. Doesn't mean I'm not trying to take nobody's name on me. I just don't understand the category anymore. You know?
Got you.
I just don't understand the category. I don't get it, and I think by the time they figure out, the category's over. You know, one time I was on the panel. I'm going to Jackpot, and they had sex siren twisters.
Sexy twist.
Sexy. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I swear, I felt dated. I was like, oh my god, this is that dated moment. And I was on the panel, and I didn't know who was sexy because the ones that was sexy wasn't real, and the ones that was real couldn't vogue. So I didn't know. It was just too many. It got too creative for me. So yeah.
Okay, so when was your first time actually walking legendary Vogue film?
When was my first time walking legendary Vogue film? I don't remember.
Was it the Icon Bowl maybe? Like if actually walking it or no?
It could have been the Icon Bowl.
Okay.
It could have been. Oh my god. Yeah, it could have been the Icon Bowl. You know, like I stayed away from it. Like I said, I actually stopped walking a little bit anyway because I didn't want to get in the middle of the shade and the riffraff. I remember going. I forgot what ball that was when God was dead. Octavia went to the house of Miss Rahi. And it was the Legends Ball. I think it was that ball. And when she went to the house of Miss Rahi, and she left the Mother Blahnik, and we gagged at the ball. And that's when Jack tried to check me on the mic and tell me I wasn't a legend.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I never, baby, I was away anyway, but I never heard this.
He called me out, Leslie Stars, as a statement. That was the check.
Why do you think that was?
Because that's what he wanted to do. And I respect Jack. So.
Did it bother you?
No.
Okay.
Because I never wanted to, I never wanted to be legend. That never was a goal of mine. It wasn't about being legend. It was just being excited that I was about to possibly be legend. But I was never trying to be legend.
So what do you think happened to the scene? I mean, back then to when you didn't want to be legend and, the girl, like, what happened? Where
it grew.
When did it, what happened? How did it become chaotic?
Many people, including I, am responsible for this, so I'm not trying to say I'm out this loop. And it's not because of me. But it's uncontrollable. You can't control it now. It's too big. And we don't have enough leaders handling it, And I think that's the biggest thing. I think Ballroom it's not underground no more. And we can't hold on to what we have. We don't own our own culture anymore. Every single time I teach a workshop, every single time I teach a class, it is ballroom history. All the time, straight through.
I think there's a big lack and gap of ballroom history.
There's no ballroom history, right? And when you don't know your history, you don't know where you came from.
A lot of people didn't even know who Alyssa was the other day, which I thought was crazy.
Which I think is disrespectful. And I think any parents who kids don't know that Vogue are not doing their job. I don't care if they come out or not. I don't care what parent you are. If your child does not know who are the people that paved the way for them inside their categories, then you're not doing your job. I think a lot of these houses are really focused on winning grand prize, this money, versus trying to keep the culture alive. You know, and I think I don't even go to a ball, and sometimes it don't even feel like a ball anymore. It feels like a show inside the ball, and we're all just watching each other. I don't.
Why do you feel like that?
Why do I feel? I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out why. Hopefully, it's for the better. I mean, I'm one of those people that have to get used to change. So, I mean, hopefully, it's for the better. I mean, the good news is ballroom is growing. Mm-hmm. The good news is people are outside of ballroom doing things with their ballroom talents,
right?
Which was not happening growing up.
Explain that.
People are teaching classes, you know, and some with right, some without.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, people don't understand what Vogue is. You know, Vogue is not 5 elements. Those are. Let me say this real clear. There are not only 5 elements to Vogue at all. That didn't come until later, way later, and we were voguing way before that. You know,
what spins and dips an element? Like, if you remember correctly.
Yes, spin is hands, catwalk, spins, dips, and duck walks.
And floor performance. But when did spin? Everybody couldn't spin back then.
You know what happened? It was that one ball was Tahiri ball and Rubin ball, and everybody was doing that Yolanda hair thing. I think Alyssa came out that day, and it was tied. It was that time when voguing lost itself. It was no elements going on for a long time, and Kool-Aid took a stand, and he was tired of it. He was like, you know what? I'm tired of shit. You're going to need to do 5 things tonight if you want to get your 10s. And from there on in, it was the gift and the curse. So everybody had to have those 5 elements, which showing a lot of who can vogue and not. But at the same time, we got stuck in those doors. Vogue is not those 5 elements at all. Those are in voguing.
Just to give you
of that.
Just to give you a little thing, I put up a picture of you on Facebook of us filming.
Okay.
And you have a bunch of people going crazy right now.
Oh, really?
Star said to tell you, original House Father High, feminine instructions saying it.
Yeah.
Gizzy's like, why the hell? That's why he's not answering my call. I was getting mad, LOL.
My phone. My brother, he's calling me down. That's his vibrate. Somebody's in there. Hey, Gizzy. Yeah.
So Vogue Evolution. Let's touch on it. I've touched on it. And sometimes we've done little intermixes and stuff like that when we've been at the same thing, because you don't come out like that. I'm gonna tell the people. You used to tell me that you wanted to take Vogue mainstream, you wanted to do this, you wanted to, and I would kiki like, honey.
You would kiki down about it.
And I want everyone to know, the viewers to know, this is from listening to you at 16, 17 years old, 18 years old now, telling me this crap. When I say crap, at that time, to me it was crap. You made it come into life and made everyone know it. Whether you didn't win, you deserved to win, y'all were supposed to win, y'all lost, whatever. You brought it to a national TV show, international, whatever TV show, and they showed y'all relationship, they showed y'all drama, they showed the issues with Lele. The world was also introduced to Lele, you know what I'm saying, which was great for her because, like it or not, Leomi is someone in this scene. And when I say like that, not talking about you, I'm talking about period. Leomi is one of the best performers from this scene that people know and recognize. You know what I'm saying? What is your feeling? What happened with Vogue Evolution? What don't people know?
What people don't know is that we didn't really know each other. Just because you go to balls with each other, just because you've been around each other and you battle and you hang in the same house or might turned up to each other does not mean you know how to be on somebody's team. And there was a certain level of teamwork that was necessary that I don't think we were prepared for. Remember, Vogue Evolution was not, those 5 people were not the people that were in Vogue Evolution ahead of that show. So we didn't know how to work with each other. We walked right into the fame as 5 individuals. We structured that team together at the same time we were figuring out who we was. We were dealing with the pressure of the world holding us on a high and at the same time calling us a blasphemy. We was dealing with a lot of hate in the world. We were gave Avatar now. Ballroom had no face other than Madonna, and that was a lot of pressure for many of us. So within that whole circle, it was a lot of turmoil. We wanted to go home. I remember Leomi used to tell me when her, and you can correct me later if I'm wrong, Leomi. She said she never wanted to be this trans star. You know, she wanted to be the girl up the block that knew how to Vogue and did hair. She wanted to live like this real, loving, connected life. And when you get put on a platform as like a gay avatar, you can't come back from that place. You know?
Was it too much for her at that time, you think? You know, just a situation with Little Mama and just everything. And like you said, if somebody, you know.
That show was too much for all of us. There has nobody that has ever done what we did. Mm-hmm. So to say who could have done that before us, nobody, because it didn't exist until us. We were the people that was supposed to do it, but that was what we had to take.
It's funny you said that, because when I did Mika's interview, and we was Leomi, she was like that she felt like everyone has a time, of course, and everyone has a destiny per se, and she felt like Leomi, that was her. She was the girl to get the job done.
Yes.
It wasn't about. You know, they already knew who Vogue. They already knew what Vogue was. Mm-hmm. They seen Vogue already. It was, but she was the girl meant to do that.
Yeah, I handpicked the whole crew for Numetry. I picked Deshaun because of Deshaun, and he was also my rival. And Deshaun and me Vogue very similar, like, and he had a dancer inside of him. I picked Leomi because I knew she was the perfect fit. If I had to do it all over again, I would pick Leomi again. There is no reason not to. Melika because I needed my partner in crime. I need that black and white.
Was Allura ever a choice, or you knew that at that time Allura was too?
She would have been. Mm-hmm. She would have been. Allura would have been my first choice, and not because of who's better, who should have had the job, because that was my sister, and that's what we were raised trying to do.
Right.
You know, she comes from where I created that from. I'm from the All Star Talent Network. Me creating a group for voguing was easy. I'm creating groups all the goddamn time with a Toro. You know, we just said we voguing with gay. It was different, you know? So Allura would have definitely been my bitch up in there. But it was a couple other female figures that was in Vogue Evolution before